Alright, I want to talk very briefly about this with this Legator 7 string. Of course, from the looks of it, you know, it's a pretty good looking guitar, but it's everything that followed that made me want to return it. And long story short, this is probably one of the worst guitars that I've owned. There are a lot of cosmetic issues with this guitar. First of all, the nut, it was very sharp. When I would slide down to the first fret, it would start to cut up the side of my finger. Just above the nut, there's like a gap between the truss rod cover and the nut. It's very weird and it's discolored. It doesn't look very good. The tuners aren't amazing. They wouldn't keep the guitar in tune. I don't know if that's me or the strings or the tuners, but I was trying to record something and the guitar was going out of tune as I was playing it. Down here behind the low E string, it looks like they tried to install the saddle piece, but then it was in the wrong place, so they moved it. There's like a little discolored ring that dips into the paint. It's very odd. The cavity is poorly routed. It's a little jagged around the edges. And I was willing to forgive those things because, you know, I wanted a cool looking extended range guitar, and this seemed to be the thing, so I was willing to forgive those little cosmetic issues. But it was one final issue that I found while I was playing one day, and it's that along the edges of the fretboard, it started to crack. It looks like they binded the maple fretboard with more maple, and as the wood shrank, because this is unfinished wood, it looks like, the maple shrank and it started to push the edges away from it, and the frets are popping out. It's just a very poor design, if you ask me, which makes it pretty much unplayable. Considering how much this guitar cost me, it was about $700 Canadian. It's absolutely not worth it. I would not recommend this guitar to anybody, and judging from what other people have to say about Legator guitars, I'd probably say you should stay away from most of their guitars. I have a lot of cheaper guitars. Actually, all my guitars are cheaper than this, and I've never seen quality control this bad. This modded to hell Yamaha Pacifica. It's my main guitar. It cost me less than $500 after all the upgrades, and it's, you know, the perfect guitar for me. Old Schecter Omen 6. You know, a very well built guitar for its probably $400 that I paid for it. And the guitar that's replacing the Legator 7 string. This Schecter C8 Deluxe. I went with Schecter because I already own one of their other guitars and it's very well made. So I thought I'd save myself any grief and just go with a brand that I know. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been playing it over the last week or so. And there's just, you know, absolutely nothing is wrong with it. And it actually cost me less than the Legator. After everything, tax and whatnot, it was about $620 compared to the $700 I paid for the Legator. So, you know, it's a win for me, and also it's an 8th string. So, you know, I figured why not go all the way. When I contacted Legator and told them about all the issues and everything, the guy I was dealing with was very helpful. He suggested that I send it back and they can replace the neck, or they can send me a different one, or they can give me the next model up, like a more expensive model. And I just straight up told him that a new neck would have the same issue, a new guitar would have the same issue. I didn't really care to have, you know, the next model up but in black, because, you know, how many black left-handed guitars are there? And I just didn't want to take the risk on it. There were also a lot of delays getting this guitar. It was a pre-order back in June of 2017. Actually, probably July of 2017, July 1st, I think. I didn't end up getting it until about October or November. They said they had problems with the left-handed necks, and that the manufacturer didn't compensate for the angled pickups. You know, that's probably a dead giveaway that you probably shouldn't get the guitar. You know, and then I did get it, and I was just happy to have it. But then, as more issues came up, I decided I needed to send it back. But the guy who was helping me, he was very kind, understanding, and helpful. But you know, when you buy a guitar, you're not buying customer service. You're buying a quality guitar, and that's not what I got. If you want to hear what it sounds like, here's just a short little clip of what it sounds like. You know, it sounds like probably any other 7-string that you get in this range. It's not a bad sounding guitar, but you know, it's definitely not worth the money. So in the end, do I recommend anybody buy this guitar? Absolutely not. You know, get an Ibanez or a Schecter or really anything else other than this. Anybody with a reputable name. It's sad that I have to see it go because it's such a cool looking guitar, but you know, looks aren't everything. It has to, you know, the playing has to back it up and the quality has to back it up. So that's kind of like my little review of the guitar. By the time this goes up, it'll probably be sent back, but if you have any experiences with Legator, you can comment below. And you know, hopefully Legator can start producing some better guitars in the future, because I really like the look of it, but it's not good.